Hello, Deondra.
Hi.
How you doing today?
I'm doing okay.
Okay.
Doing
Okay. So, what brings you in today?
Well, I kind of want to speak about what's going on like with my dad.
Okay.
Um, we don't really have the best relationship. Um, we, when I was growing up, like I didn't really see him much,
Okay.
and so I think now he's trying to like pop up here and there just to, try to, come back in my life or whatever. But it's kind of awkward because I didn't really spend time with him, growing up. And I always felt like he neglected me and like he never wanted anything to do with me. And every time I would try to reach out to spend time with him, it's like he would push me away
Okay.
and I felt rejected.
Okay. So, what I'm hearing is that you're feeling um, rejected from your father. Um, so, my question for you is, give me a time frame. So, when is the last time you guys have spent time together before he's come back into the picture?
Um, Well, it would occasionally be like visits to
Okay.
his house. Well, not even really his house, my grandma's house, because he lives with my grandma. So when I would go to visit him, you know, half the time we would never go inside the house. We would always have to sit outside, and which made things even more awkward. So we were just sitting by the road, just talking to each other and with my grandma there too. And, you know, just he just didn't understand like how I felt truly about him not being present.
Okay. So, why did you guys never go inside of the house? Why were
Um,
those visits outside by the car?
well, there was always an excuse to that about like they never cleaned up in the house. There was so much in the house that I wasn't able to sit in there
Okay.
and things like that. And just I don't know. I just never understood that because they're my dad and my grandma shouldn't matter.
Right.
That's my family.
Okay. Um, so you speak about your grandmother. Explain the dynamic of that relationship.
Well, just kind of like the relationship with my dad is. It's not really much of a relationship. Um, we speak to each other. She is always happy to hear from me. When I call her or when I come to see her, and she's always looking for me to come and see her. And I mean, I don't really have a relationship with her as I did with my grandma on my mom's side. My grandma on my mom's side, she was really my heart and soul. She just passed away in March, and
Okay. I'm sorry
so
to hear that.
it's okay. I've been struggling with it here and there, but I'm dealing with it. So now I'm taking the approach of things like, well, this is my only living grandparent,
Right.
because both of my grandfathers died years before I was born, and so she's the only one left, and I want to do what I can to have a relationship with her, but it's difficult.
Okay. So you mentioned your grandmother's passing. Do you feel that that might be the reason why you feel so strongly that you want a relationship with your other grandmother now, or has this been like an ongoing thing from before?
Kind of ongoing, but
Okay.
kind of not. But I feel like her death kind of further propelled me to want to speak with her more, my other grandmother. So it's just hard because I don't really have that strong relationship like I did with my other grandmothers.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you to walk me through an experience. Let's imagine that you are on your way to your dad's and your mom's house. Well, not your mom, your grandmother's house. What are the feelings like on the way to their house? Are you like excited, anxious?
Um, when I was younger, I used to be excited.
Okay.
Because I just didn't understand the whole dynamics of, him not wanting to spend time with me. But, that kind of came over time when I would ask, could I stay with him, and he would always say no. But now that I'm older, it's just like, well, I'm going to check them out just to see what's up with them, just to see how they're doing. And just trying to attain that peace about things.
Right.
Just trying to, make things right for
Okay.
my sake.
All right. And when you're there with them, not when you're on the way there, when you're there with them, how do you feel? How is the time that you guys spend? Is it enjoyable? Is it, you know?
It's kind of so
Okay.
because when I'm with my dad, he just goes off tangent and just talks about crazy stuff. And I had to tell him, like, Dad, I'm not trying to talk about that. Like, I came just to see how you were doing and everything. I don't want to hear about how you're not getting along with this person or that person or any other people in the family. Like, I just come and, spend
Spend that
time
time.
with y'all.
Right. So my next question is: do you feel that the relationship is maybe one-sided? Are you the one making most of the effort to reach out to them, or is it reciprocated?
It's me,
It's just mainly you.
mainly me. Yeah,
Okay.
and I hate that, but I want to make things right. It has to start somewhere,
Right.
and I just hope that it picks up over time. But I just know that you know I'll have comfort in knowing that I did the best I could to at least initiate the relationship.
I mean, although you guys may not have a relationship, I think that it's great that you are making the effort to reach out to your dad, your grandmother. Do you have any siblings?
I have a brother. He's 35.
Okay.
But he has a different father.
Okay. Because I was gonna ask, but okay. So, how do you feel the relationship between him and his father and grandparents are? Is it like different? Is it something that you see and you long for, or could that be something that's contributing to the situation?
Well, I haven't really seen him reach out to his dad either. He kind of has the same sentiments about his dad as I do with mine.
Okay.
Um, I don't know what it is. My mom just had this terrible taste with men. I just never understood it, but um, so he doesn't really communicate with much of his dad's side of the family.
Okay. Describe terrible. What would be some attributes that would make a man terrible? Because you mentioned that your mom dates men that are terrible. Explain it.
I feel like in a sense she doesn't have standards. I I feel it, and it's not her fault. It's just she wasn't taught better by my great grandmother. She was raised by her grandmother,
Right.
and she I guess felt like if a man was giving her attention and doing nice things for her, that was okay. But over time, the true colors of those men that she dated came out. But she even explained to me one day about my dad. She said, when they first started dating, like my dad, was not who he is today.
Right.
Um, but over time, I guess he got real comfortable in the relationship, and um, they never got married. My brother's dad and my mom got married, but she divorced him due to like his situation with drugs or whatever. She didn't want my brother around that. But my dad, I wasn't expecting.
Right.
I just happened to pop up out of the picture. So um, when my mom was maybe 3 months pregnant with me, my dad walked out. And and that really, really hurt her. It did a lot of damage. She was very angry.
Right. Um, what is the relationship like between your mother and your biological father? Do they talk now?
No, they
No.
don't really talk. I mean, they have like a cordial relationship with one another, but they don't really, um, talk that much. Like she'll, if he comes around, they'll speak or whatever. And if my dad asks questions such as, "Why Deondra acting this way towards me?" this and that, she'll just tell him in a calm manner, like, "Well,
Okay.
the things that you haven't done for her, so you have to kind of understand, part of most of it is you, the things that you didn't do for her and everything."
But do you see the trickle down effect? How the behavior that your grandmother modeled, it has followed to how your mom picks guys. So we're saying that. Um, what is your dating life like? What are the guys that you date? Are they kind of? Do you think they have the same qualities as your father, or um, you know?
I never really looked at that, but now that you bring that up, yeah. But now that I feel like I've recognized that,
Right.
I'm just taking a step back from the dating scene, just figuring out my priorities. Or I wouldn't say figuring out my priorities because I know my priorities, but just making them the priorities that they are, or carrying out those priorities,
Right.
making them my priorities, and then having the other stuff, follow suit.
Right. And I'm happy that you can, you see that and you're able to pick it up and be like, okay, I don't want to date this guy because he has these qualities, these attributes, because it's like, you don't want to date that type of guy. You want better for yourself, So, I think that's good because that was why I asked that question because I wanted to make sure that you're able to, pick that up and, make better decisions.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's only after that I dated these noble guys, and
Right.
just
Oh, and we're all gonna date them.
yeah, yeah. But I feel like I've just came to that realization. I need to just wait,
Right.
and just carry out my priorities that need to be done. After those bad experiences, after my mom's bad experiences, I know what I don't want in my partner.
Right.
So, um, but that hasn't deterred my faith in anything. I'm just taking a step back and really just figuring myself out.
Right.
And trying to initiate a relationship with my father is one of the things that I do want to do.
Right.
And I feel like that's one of the first steps.
Um, so how are you going to continue to try to build this relationship? I know that you've been, setting up visits. Is there anything else that maybe you think that you can do to help strengthen that relationship?
Yeah, I've been beginning to call him once a week.
Okay.
And, I feel like that's been going okay. But then he'll try to go off tangent and start talking about other stuff that I didn't call to talk about. And so it's then when I say, Dad, like, if we're going to start talking about that, I want to hang up the phone.
Right.
And either he'll change the direction of the conversation or he'll continue to talk about it. And I'll say, you know what, Dad, I'll talk to you later, bye. And then he'll just be like, bye. But, I don't really take things to heart as much as I used to with him. I just kind of understand that he is who he is and just come to accept that and,
Right.
move forward.
And that's good. That's good because you can't change people. People don't change unless they want to change. So, I'm happy that you're aware that you can't change people. But he is your father, and I think that it is great that you're trying to again build this relationship. And if it means to just keep trying and trying and trying, that's just something that you have to do. Oh, that's something. I feel that that's also with your grandmother. You know, because it has to start somewhere. It has to.
Yeah, you're right.
So how do you feel after that? After this session? Do you feel a little better? Have you got any clarity about the situation?
Yeah, for the most part, especially when you brought up the whole relationship thing.
Okay.
Um, like how like my choice in men.
Okay.
So kind of shed some light on things.
Right. Okay. Well, we're out of time now, and I hate to end this session, but I guess we can just resume next week and just keep in mind everything that we talked about today. And thanks, Deondra.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.